Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Ethelor Plays Go. Glad to see that the sound seems to be working. Always need to check that before starting the game. I'm playing as white, and yeah, let's enjoy the game. Um, Recently, I managed to rank up to Fordon on Fox. Unfortunately, I didn't record the game because I didn't think it would be a super special game, but it was a little bit, ranking up to 4 This is the first time I ranked up to 4 on Fox. That was quite an event for me. Um, Once again, starting in my usual way. Maybe I should find ways to change things up a little bit, but I've been finding success just playing like this. Um, Here we have a one space low approach. I have been studying this one space high pincer, but I've been finding that my opponents are able to handle it quite well. After all, it's not like C15 is a mistake, so as long as black plays well, they can really manage it. So I don't really enjoy, I haven't really been enjoying it that much. I can also go for the one space low pincer, or maybe a kick, or just extending. I don't really like the extending because it's a bit boring to me. And I'm also a bit bored of the kick, so I'm going to go for the one space low pincer today. There can be some things that I have trouble dealing with. We might see them today. So I can push this way to avoid all complications. Or I can cut to fight. Let me see. I'm not quite sure. Because if I just take territory, then black gets this shape, and C13 isn't my favorite stone, so I'll just play the cut, even though it's going to lead to complicated variations that I don't necessarily know. So we're going to cut. The variation that I'm afraid of is if black Ataris, I extend, and then black plays D13. Ah, but I'm playing as white, because normally I'm a bit worried about this D12 move, and I don't really like it as black. So I can play it in order to see how my opponent responds, but I'm just gonna play normal moves because I mean technically this is the correct way to play, but I guess maybe D12 would have been an interesting experiment. Maybe something I shouldn't necessarily avoid, because maybe if I play it as white, then maybe I'll learn more about the position, and then I won't be so afraid of it when I take it as black. I think this is a newer way to play, because it does. I think like AI, like for instance, G16 used to be at F16, and AI plays this a little bit looser because otherwise the shape's a bit overconcentrated. And I wonder if there's a similar kind of logic here. Although white can still play D12, right? And then black C12, Atari Connect, Atari. That's not Atari, but that might actually be okay. Um, but I don't know. I don't want to get too dug into this in case it's wrong. Here, I mean, Atari Connect, Atari Extend, and yeah, so black gets a lot of forcing moves, and I don't really like it. So I'm just gonna play over here. So yeah, I wonder if there's any dubiousness in this shape here, but maybe not. It's a very sunny day today. I'm sorry about that. There's a little bit of glare on the camera. So let's see. I can jump up, but I think I'll have trouble attacking the stone. So I can either double approach or go into the corner. And then I think I like double approaching. That's usually what I like to play. Because jumping into the corner is just a bit simple. So I want to avoid it. All right, this move is pretty normal. So um, I can Hane here, or I can just go into the corner. I think that the Hane here is normal because it gets black to invest in this side, especially because black doesn't have a lot of development over here. Um, yeah, I guess that might be a point because whenever I did the pincer variations, the one space high one, I would then say like, oh, I need to attack this L16 stone. But that's probably also not really true because it's not really easy to attack, but also there's not a lot of development here for black. I mean, like, in old school theory, this would have been like really wrong direction, but these days it's not such a big deal. You could connect, but I don't think that really works with the L16 stone, so I'm just gonna take the corner, be happy. That's a really interesting way. Normally, the N17 Atari is played. So yeah, I'll just play over here. So far, everything is just a little bit not how I expected, but you know, it's fine. I don't think it really matters that much. Yeah, okay. So then we do two space extension, two space base. So yeah, I think like, okay, this is pretty interesting. So uh, I can block in this direction to sort of block black's development, but I think I'll prefer to block this way. Ah, interesting. So now I can play here, and then Tanuki. I don't really want to develop this side because black will be able to Atari and then descend. I can play again, but black might keep pushing. But then the IG in the stone gets bigger, so maybe not. Um, so what's a good move to play next? I think a good move to play is just playing R8 and just dealing with this side of the board. In contrast to some of the previous games I was playing, this is this is just a more stable game. Um, It's a bit unexpected because I often find that I think this guy's from Taiwan. Yeah, Taiwan. I find often that Taiwanese players are very aggressive, whereas this one is very I don't know. He's very collected, playing normal moves. I think that's not so great because this leaves this behind. Um, Meanwhile, yeah, it doesn't really attack this group. I can try and strengthen over here, but let's just take this first because it's pretty big. You could even play this R5 stone without R8, um, but I think by old theory, leaving this would have been a huge mistake. So I can play here, and black will play R6. I think about cuts. I mean, if I cut over here, then I'll probably be able to come out. But I can probably just play over here and that'll be good enough. Say I played, wait, but R6, Q5, and then this one, and might try to capture. Um, Whereas if I play this way, yeah, if let's play like this. So my plan is to cut at S4 and give the Panuki on the inside, and then cut black off on the outside. It's pretty clear at this point that the shape's a bit thin. I might need to make sure to remember to come back to B16. That's going to be very big. And yeah, maybe I can play some other moves over here. So these are some ideas that I have. I might be able to try and develop this side, but it'll not be that interesting because this R14 and R8 stone is low. So we'll see how black plays. Interesting. So I can just block over here now, and black is completely sealed into the corner. Do I even have to respond again? I mean, technically, maybe not. Um, Maybe I can try and attack this stone, but don't really like that idea. So I think I want to continue over here. Let me see. If black cuts and I extend, if black clamps, then maybe I'll play something like R7. But there's the Atari, so if clamp, I have to either descend or connect. But I can just connect, even if black comes underneath. They can't reconnect to this stone, really. Um, yeah, I can also play over here. That might be interesting. But let's just continue over here. If I'm stronger, then maybe I can start thinking about attacking this J4 stone. Probably won't be that severe, but yeah, the game continues. All right. So I wonder how black's going to respond to this. Maybe I should have thought about this a little bit more, because I think you can also choose to come on the outside here. Whereas cutting on the inside already locks you probably into a certain Joseki already. Since black already has J4, it might be a good idea for black to play G2 to play this Atari here. Yeah. Yeah. So I think that was probably a wrong Joseki choice by me. But who knows? We'll see. So up to here, this is a pattern. Black will cut and then play F3, and then yeah, well, the J4 stone is probably a little bit nice, but not super useful. Meanwhile, the Aji in the stone is getting bigger, so I can probably think about playing C9, or maybe this cut here might get more interesting. We'll see. This opponent really takes their time to move as well, which is also quite interesting. Here. Yeah, and so this was the wrong choice because now I can't really ladder this. I have to play this kind of loose, in this loose way. Right? Yeah. So, but I don't think that playing this ladder breaker is a good idea. So if I play this way and black then tries to capture these stones, what happens? If black tries to capture those stones, then I'll probably have to Atari. Yeah, then it'll become a net, and then white will just gain some strength, I suppose. But then I guess the issue is playing over here. So I can Atari extend. Can I try net? But no, because extend here, down, and then this way there's Atari. So yeah, the net doesn't work either. Oh, it's quite annoying. Say I play this move first, then Atari, and then net again. That will work. So let's try that. Because right now, if they come back to capture these stones, then I'll be able to move this and black will be floating, I think. But say I extend and black stands up, that could be a risky thing. But probably not, because if I exchange this one and then this cut, it's already threatening a ladder over here. So let me think. So here, da, 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 da. Then what next? Black will have to like connect or something, and then I get an extra move, but So I'm not going to do it this way, I'll play this way. No, this was a bit of a heavy loss. So I should realize when black has this moves over here, and then also when I don't have the ladder, then I shouldn't cut on the inside. Yeah, these kinds of 3-3 Joseki are like, they seem simple, but they're unexpectedly difficult. Not because the moves are so difficult, but because it's difficult to like choose between the different branches. They all kind of look the same to me, so I get confused between them. Yeah, I think that's most natural. So descending over here wouldn't work, so I'm just gonna have to play this way. And can I play Atari? Say I play Atari, capture Atari, this cuts, and then here, and then captures. So, going to have to come back, I think. And black's not settled. And I've made some points over here, so, you know, maybe it's okay. If you have a group of stones like d4 and it looks like it's difficult to hold on to them, usually it's a good idea to just not. Because if you struggle, then that can sometimes lead you straight to your demise. Whereas if you tanuki, then sometimes you can salvage the situation. Um, that's a good shoulder hit. Um, so I don't think I should let black press me low, because I don't like that. I think it would be better just to attack the whole group. But also, I think this move is pretty big at this point. So I'm going to do that. Not only can I take the corner, which is really big, but also black is floating. And meanwhile, Q9 doesn't really have a great follow-up. Like, yeah, it's a move, but if white plays again, like, I mean, the only move is like Q11, but I don't need to rush to play there. So I think B16 is more important. Oh, I should remember, somebody mentioned that my stone volume was way too loud. So I'll fix that quickly. All right. I don't think this is a good idea. I think I should stay connected. I shouldn't let black cut. But in principle, I think this is good for, well, not necessarily good for white, but coming back here looks like this could be dangerous. Like playing a move like E12 now. Um, but I'm not going to let black cut. No way. So I'll just connect here. Yeah, so this move looks annoying now. Because sometimes something that I forget is to play the shape point. Um, I sometimes I feel like shape is a very obvious thing, and so it's something that I'm always thinking about, but that's not really true. So now I can cut through here now. If black tries to connect, then I can Atari, and then I can come out over here. And then black doesn't have a net or anything, so that looks annoying. Also, I can play over here. Ah, you're just letting me come through? Really? Hmm. So now I'll just cut, or capture rather, because I can connect, but I think it would be better if I have this capture. Because now I get this stone as well, and now there's no eye here. And it's Sente. Black has to capture. And then... just cut. Because if I connect, then that gives black the initiative, and I think black can already form another eye here. So I think I'd rather cut. Keep the pressure up. Because if black recaptures, then I can always step back. And this E16 stone still doesn't have a lot of Aji in it. Meanwhile, black had these exchanges here, but if I play Q11, then these stones are still heavy, so I actually don't think that investing more moves here was that valuable. We'll see in the review, but... So at this point, I think it's difficult to save these stones, and black just has to worry about this group. And black will probably just extend here. Yeah, and then what do I do next? I can make the shape worse. This ladder here might be interesting. If I don't play, then there's this ladder, which is good for white, it seems actually. Actually good for white. Crazy. Um, I can keep putting pressure on black. Yeah, because I can play from over here, but this will push black towards these stones, which is what I don't want. I want to keep these separated. So given that there's no ladder, I'll play like this. There's also no net, which I should have checked, but there's no net because I can Atari. So black will most likely Atari from this side, and these stones are getting weaker. There's still Agi left in these stones as well. Perhaps not a lot, but, you know, it's there. I tried to mute myself before drinking, but it didn't really work. Let's see, here. I could swear. Did I misread? No, I didn't misread. That's a bad idea. Black. Am I misreading? No, not misreading. Okay, then this exchange was really bad. Because now it means that there's cutting point, and now these stones are heavier. And I can play a move. Let's see. I want to play this diagonal, but then black will wedge an Atari, but then black will have to return here. And there's not much weakness in the shape here, and then white will get the first move on the outside. So wait, this one... Always difficult to keep track. Yeah, black will have to return, and then... But I can't, like, net or anything, because weakness in shape. So I think I need to, like, extend. Yeah. Or remove the liberties on these stones. Say I play here. This one, this one, this one. So let's just play like this. It's nice because I'll get an extra... I might get an extra move like this Hane, and then black will have to extend a couple of times, so I get some forcing moves, which will be okay. Black extends, then maybe I can jump. I don't want to sleep on this. I really want these moves. Meanwhile, I don't think there's a lot that black can do against this group. Atari this way, then Atari here, connects. I guess white can get a little bit weak. But I think white can manage the fight. So these are nice exchanges for me, and then I'm going to come back over here. I could defend, but I think that's the point. The point is just to have these exchanges, and then if black tries to cut, then I'll sacrifice these stones. And now if I capture these 2 stones, then this will be a lot bigger. Say, can I surround? I think so, because, I mean, there's this jumping out. That's, like, the only thing. And then I can come in between. So let's just extend. Yeah. Turning here will be quite nice, and also, once again, these stones are getting heavier, so I think that maybe black can save them, maybe. But it comes at a cost. Wouldn't want to do it willy-nilly. Yeah, for instance, if I turn here, then these stones are getting weaker. And if I play an extra move here, then there are no eyes for black. And then I can choose between... Oh, that's interesting. But I should definitely keep these stones weak, I think. Say if I jump here, then black will keep going. So I think I should turn, because that will threaten this move, which will probably be very close to killing. And then after this turn, I can maybe lean on this L16 stone to try and attack this group. Because now these stones are very heavy, and so that's a good target to attack. I used to think that I thought a lot during the game, but it actually turns out that after you make a move, you think a little bit, and then after a while, I just start waiting for my opponent's next move, because there's no point overthinking it, because then you'll read out variations that you don't know are happening yet, and that can just as well hamper your play. Also, if you read too far ahead, then it means that you start like blitzing, and that's not a good habit either. So after a while, I just kind of turn the brain off and just relax a little bit. Hmm. Can I cut? Because I don't want to play this forcing move. It doesn't really bring me a lot of value. And I can try and cut here, but then Atari extend net. No, Atari, and then Atari out. Atari extend net, Atari, Atari. And then I'll have to come out this way, but the shape's still a bit thin, so I don't think I can really attack black, so I'll just come back over here. I could get an extra move on the outside, though, so maybe I should have played that. I might exchange that quickly. Um, Say that black plays where I would have played, then I can still surround, I think. And losing these stones will be pretty heavy. So I think black will need to respond by jumping out, and then I have to be careful that these stones don't get too weak. And then getting K16 will be quite good profit for me. Yeah, makes sense. So let's play here. Make sure these stones don't get too weak. And then how does the ladder look? The ladder looks like it works for black, unfortunately. So Atari here, Atari here. So we can play the shape exchange as well. Just keep haranguing black a little bit. And then I want to play another move here, but I'm afraid of this cut. I mean, I can sacrifice the stone, but then, yeah, it'll be difficult. So I should definitely play like a tiger's mouth or something to make the shape a bit better. If black cuts now, can he win the Liberty Race? So Atari extend cut. Could be difficult. What? But of course, I won't... What's he doing? Here? So that didn't help him at all. I can even try and cut here, but I think that black can Atari and then just capture the stones, so I don't think it's very useful. And then I get extra forcing moves over here. I can even play this one more time. And then I can probably try and come out here, but I don't like that. I like getting some extra forcing moves and then maybe like defending this area. Um, but I think if I defend here, then black definitely probably needs to play again. Uh, do I definitely want these forcing moves? And then I feel like I have to come back and defend, and then black might move these stones. Mm, I'm not sure. Either way, I think I really need M9. It's just whether or not I play these forcing moves first. And if I don't play the forcing moves, then I might be able to attack these stones later, but I have less power. And if I do these forcing moves now and then come back, then I have more power against these stones, but I don't think I can really severely attack them, so I won't invest. But I would really like to get K5 now, so I think black really should defend either way. So given that black defends, it might be better just to make the exchanges. But I get Sente, which is pretty valuable, so I should keep that in mind. And then I have to choose between coming back to Q11 or taking profit with K16. And I think the question of whether I take profit or not depends on how many points I have. So then I should count. Um, so to be fair, there aren't that many points for black. There's maybe like 10 points in the corner here. And then let's see, that's 10 points, 12, and then maybe, let's say that's 8, say that's 20, say that's like 21 points, maybe. So 10 plus 21. Um, that's interesting. Is that really necessary? So it was finished counting. So that's 21, 31, plus whatever's over here. So let's say that's maybe like, say that's like 15 points. Um, so what, 31 plus 15 is 46. 46 points for black. And meanwhile, how many do I have? So I have maybe 10 points over here. Um, oh, this is pretty big. So this will probably be like, let's say that's already 10. Yeah, say this is like 20 points. So that's already 30. And then 30. So then that's 6, 8, 8, 10, 12. So that's like 12 points. So the point balance is maybe like a little bit good for black. I think I'm pretty strong here, so I think I should resist pretty strongly. I could even just play this jump or over here. But yeah, then I definitely want to play this move. So I don't want to start. Well, if I make profit over here, that puts me a little bit ahead, but I think I should keep fighting basically, because I think that there are a lot of weaknesses. So I shouldn't let go of all of them just yet. Because of this Q2 move, I don't think I'm gonna make a lot of profit here if I just try and make profit. Um, I think I should cut here again because if I can surround this group, then it's gonna die. And then if I can cut through, that'll be really nice for me. So can I clamp or maybe play over here? Where are black's weaknesses? Atari? But no, let's just play over here. I think this is going to be really interesting. then maybe, if I'm lucky, I can reduce black or something. If I reduce black's points, then that'll be okay. If I can get Sente and come over here, that'll be good. If I can get Sente and play Q11, that'll be good. So there are a lot of really nice things in store for white, I think. They're really thinking hard. This is going to be a pretty good game for review. I really appreciate that from my opponent. So I think I don't want to leave all of these Ataris behind here. So I want to play here first, but I think that these Ataris are bigger. Let's hope that black doesn't get too strong and actually start attacking these stones here. Mm-hmm. So we need to keep these separated somehow. I need to make sure this doesn't get too weak as well. So... This is where the shape is weak, I think. Although black may still try and step around, it'll be pretty good for white if black does respond, so it's probably a little bit wishful thinking. It is true. So I shouldn't Atari because this stone isn't important. I can play over here, but white can very easily get thin. So I think I need to take care of this group, unfortunately. This will already be an I think. Okay, so maybe white isn't as weak as I think. I can, if I need to, then I can live. Assuming that there's another eye over here. Because I worry that if I play this Hane, cut, and then I extend, and then Atari, and then Atari, so they might sacrifice this, but then capture this bigger group here. But there's still shape difficulties. So,
Undo requested. Undo granted.
Another misclick. That's the second one in like 2 days. But the other one was on my iPad, and then here it's because somehow the mouse slipped a little bit. If you play a lot of Go, you're bound to make misclicks eventually. So I can make this shape, or over here, or I can extend this one. It's probably something like this. So I'm more confident that white is going to live. And now, playing again here looks like I can make good profit, actually. You know, black spent all this time running, but even if they live, these are just neutral spaces. Whereas, for instance, if I play P2 now, then that's good profit for white as well. So I shouldn't be too dead set on trying to kill black. Although I think it just so happens that white might have good odds, but shouldn't. Not that good odds, unfortunately. I don't think it's worth it. I think it was a very good idea to reinforce this group because now this group over here feels a lot weaker. Yeah, white has a lot of corners, so I guess maybe not that many. Okay, so I should definitely come back over here now. Because it feels like if black has to come back and play this, then I can make a lot of profit at the top of the board. Interesting. But I can still cut, and that can get annoying. But it's probably unnecessary. I think if I just take this much profit, then that'll be enough. So say I play M18, extend, connect, Atari here. So I don't think I can take that much profit up here, not in one move. Really aggressive. Let's see. Hmm. I want to come back and surround this over here. Ah, this move is Sente. So that was a nice counter attack. Because, yeah. So now I can return over here. Yeah, if I play this one. Okay, yeah. Oh, now I'm stronger, so now I might be able to launch an attack against black again. And I made some profit over here, so that was quite nice. This peep didn't really work out. If Atari, then extend, Atari, extend, and then over here, I can't turn. Oh, that's interesting. But that doesn't work, like, at all. Black doesn't have enough liberties. Yeah, but that's not going to work. I mean, I play here, I'm already alive. And I can play over here. Maybe, like, wedge and cut. But there's this move. What happens if I push, cut this way? Playing another move here would be nice. What do I think? Or over here, yeah. So I think the main thing is don't get surrounded quite yet. Luckily, we're running into overtime because, yeah, what I don't like is like when the games run really long, then eventually I'm like, okay, I want to end the game now. I think that they continue to attack this group after I reinforced it, and maybe that's not the best strategic move. They're also running into overtime now, so if I just make sure that I don't play too fast, then I might be able to beat them. Connecting here is super annoying. Black doesn't have two eyes. But let's make sure that I'm okay first. If I come through here now, then that's pretty annoying. Because there's this weakness here. So if I play this one, black will cut. I make an Atari once, but I don't have enough liberties. So I'm gonna return here. Black will have to connect. And then maybe I can come underneath. So that was pretty good profit for white, at least. Black's not making any points. Maybe black can try and cut, though. But at the same time, let's just play again here. Because if I play N17, then this group is getting weak too. This will cut me off. This is annoying. They probably think they're home free now. Let's see now. This stone is never captured now. There's no eye here. Black needs to be careful. They're kind of hanging by a thread. Say it connects. I only worry... Well, if I play over here... Not quite two eyes, but this one, that will be. Let's just step back because there's still a lot of ways to proceed. I might even be able to try for this cut eventually. Now, I mean, if I play here, I'm already alive. Let's see. Can black kill somehow? Maybe like a move like this, I come back. Then here, here. Yeah, let's just be safe. So then either way, I think I have two moves I can play. So N17 or... What is this? Maybe some forcing moves? What happens if I just respond?
10.
I think that'll be okay. And then I can come back here. I think trying to live in here is probably a bad idea. Because black was already hanging from a threat. This is very unreasonable. So let's hope I don't make a mistake. If I play over here, I worry a bit about the cut. But at the same time, cut and then Atari, and then I can squeeze. Oh. But this is the safest. I don't need to squeeze. I'm a bit worried, but I think it should be okay. It's a good attempt, but I think this gives white a lot more points. So if I play over here, yeah, then maybe... No, there's still not two eyes, is there?
10,
Still aren't.
9, 8,
One overtime.
7,
So if I connect...
5, 4.
So let's say here, Atari, here, then Miai.
4 periods left.
But... So this one, capture here, here.
10.
Oh, the game is getting tense. It's getting difficult. Connecting at N17 finally is quite nice. Because black can't cut, because the inside stones will die. And this isn't Sente. So let's cut over here. And then these outside stones are dead. So over here... so this is Sente. Say if I block this way, that's bad. So then this way. So I don't think they realize what just happened. They lived, but they're dead on the outside. Because there's probably maybe an eye here, but if I play first, this whole thing is dead. Yeah. So there's this cut, but as long as I defend against the cut, there's nothing. And there's no way that black can kill all of this, because I'll make another eye in the corner, for sure. Even if they don't, I can still play maybe like something like this. P15. They also never responded to me at M19, so I should remember that. Yeah, I even have enough liberties, I think, to kill him on the inside if he doesn't make a second eye. And then I can make an eye as well by playing B15. Yeah. So say we play here. So when I play here, that's Sente already, and then it can connect, and yeah, just play here. Easy game. Mm-hmm. So if I play this one, I mean, he might be able to live, so if I play here, then that will make Ko, but I don't really want to play the Ko. If he responds, then he's dead. So he has to play L19 now, and then I can live by playing A18, and there's a super shortage of liberties over here.
You have won.
All right, they did pretty well. Let's review the game, and I'll see you all in a minute. All right, so had a look at the game quickly, and there are a couple of notes. So first of all, I was a bit dubious about the shape here, but um, it doesn't seem to be such a big deal. I was thinking that maybe black could play from this direction, and then say black plays away somehow, then maybe this nose attachment can be annoying. Because if black Hane's on this side, this Atari will capture, and also same on the other side. Yeah, so it's actually quite a difficult problem to deal with as black. So the shape becomes quite bad, and black is really in trouble. So black shouldn't do that. But if black just takes a Atari instead, then there's just no issue. So the shape problem there wasn't as big as I thought it was. Interestingly, this Atari here is actually the preferred move by the AI, not this one, which is the more traditional variation. But not a big deal. I thought that maybe when I played what move this one, that this was a mistake because when we got to this position, that I couldn't play here because black would just capture. But it turns out it's not such a big deal because if white Ataris, they can do this net. If black pushes and they end up killing themselves, and so then black needs to come back, and white gets the Atari, and so there is no cut at A. So it turns out that actually this move would have been fine, since there's no ladder here, as we read in the game. So yeah, allowing black to have this is probably a little bit good, and then I don't have to move the stone like this, and I can play A instead and just look towards moving B later. I was wondering about this in the game. So I was thinking that maybe if black plays away, then this can, not this one, that this ladder can become annoying. So maybe black will descend over here, and then we can make some kind of shape. Actually, the AI doesn't want to play this one, wants to play this one, because there are only 2 liberties left on these stones here. So this can be interesting. But that's not what happened in the game. Playing A would have been just fine, but anyway, we played like this. I think that this exchange is a little bit good for white, and then once again, these exchanges. So here, also a little bit good for white, and also a little bit good for white. So here, white starts to gain in points a little bit. Not very much, not by like a really horrible amount, but this is just all a little bit good for white. So there was this cut, and then I don't have to play over here. I can just tanuki. This move is pretty big on the board because either white gets to play here or black gets to play here. So you can see how depending on which one you have, that can become a pretty big difference. So this was a pretty big point on the board for a very long time. And then here, I shouldn't play this move because basically black can turn over here, and then there's this Atari, and then can try and capture white stone. I don't know if black is able to capture white super cleanly, but basically that black gets all these forcing moves, and white's having difficulty. So it's not a good time to play away, apparently. And these forcing moves, as I mentioned in the game, they're nice for white, but they don't help a lot. So that was something to worry about. White should also just continue here, as we mentioned in the game. And then here, this was very dubious by black, and then I should actually connect over here, because if black tries to cut, then this Atari is Sente, and then I can come back, and then if black tries to take away white's liberties, there's a ladder here, or over here. It's not very easy for black to remove white's liberties, and so black has to come out with these stones, and then actually black is short liberties over here. So that was all very interesting, I think. So yeah, we were able to come out, and then, or not actually quite come out, but, so I reinforced that group, and then it would have been better still to point at black's weaknesses. So black might try and move out like this, white gets this forcing move, and then can make a really nice shape over here. And so this would have organized the shape a lot better, and then also, black's stones over here are starting to look pretty weak, so that would have been a lot better. But instead I responded from over here. It even prefers Satari from over here, but I don't think that's very important. There are other minor mistakes over here, but I don't think they're super important to talk about. And then I think the other big thing to talk about is that this move, we've counted in the game that white probably would have been ahead with these points over here. So the game was kind of even, but then if white starts making these points, then already white is starting to get a bit of a lead. The AI evaluates so white's ahead by like 15 points, so this would have been enough to win the game. But instead, I kept trying to apply pressure, and even here, it would have been better to return in order to make profit. Even here, it's still not quite clear. I was thinking, like, okay, black plays like here and here, and okay, maybe can't play this, but there's this wedge. What about this? Also still okay. So it's still... So then black needs to play this endgame. Is there a ko? There's a ko. So white has to respond like this. So you can see how already there aren't as many points here because black can annoy white so much. So just being solid would have been fine. This is a really nice counterattack. I'm quite impressed with myself. And then moving here was, as I mentioned, good for white. And then this pushing was a bad idea, but let's never mind that. And here I should have just made profit. So if I try to make profit, then black can't play here to kill because this connects. So black still has to play another move here. And then white then needs to make life. And this capture isn't so big. So we can leave that behind. Yeah, that's basically everything. Then basically when black tries to move this is all really... Black's not going to live and with both these groups at the same time. Apparently I could just play here, I think. And that would have been okay. But what I played in the game wasn't the best, but at the same time, it was enough. So yeah, and then black tried all these things and it couldn't work, and then black just eventually... well, black can still live if they play here. So what I was thinking is that if black plays here, then there's the shortage of liberties. Count. So needs to play here and here. Shores of Liberties again, so has to connect and play here. And then black is alive, but there's no way to live with this group here. I was thinking that white can even play this move. Yeah, that's double Atari here, so can still work. But that's not an I, and then playing here, black is dead. So yeah, that was basically the entire game. If you enjoy this content, then like, comment, and subscribe. And yeah, look forward to playing more games, and I'll see you all in the next video.